At 16 days old, newborns need 14 to 17 hours of sleep a day, broken into short naps. They wake up mainly to eat, usually every 2 to 3 hours, and then drift back to sleep. Their little bodies are still adjusting to life outside the womb, and getting enough rest is crucial for their growth and brain development. But feeding a newborn isn't always easy, like this. Cut to video of the bottle resting on the AC remote. It might seem like a simple trick to avoid holding the bottle, but this is actually dangerous. Newborns can't control the flow of milk, and if it comes too fast, they can choke or even aspirate, meaning milk could enter their lungs. There's also the risk of ear infections from milk pooling in their mouths. And worst of all, if something goes wrong, a baby left alone with a propped bottle has no way to react. So what's the safer way? Always hold the bottle and watch your baby closely while feeding. If your hands get tired, try a nursing pillow for support. Switch hands or take short breaks. Burping your baby frequently also helps prevent gas buildup, which can make them uncomfortable and fussy. Feeding time is also about bonding. So even when you're exhausted, those quiet moments matter. At 17 days old, Gia is still adjusting to the world, and so are we. We signed up for postpartum care for 30 days, and every day, a caregiver comes to massage both Ada and Gia, help with baby exercises, and give Gia a proper bath. They're also teaching us how to handle her the right way, things we didn't even realize we were doing slightly wrong. One day, our cleaning lady noticed we didn't have a bed sheet on our bed. We had run out of clean ones because Gia kept peeing during diaper changes. Without hesitation, she brought us a rubber mat. She has a 5-year-old daughter, so this was second nature to her. Looking back, it was such a simple solution, obvious even. But in the moment, we just hadn't thought of it. Gia's routine is settling in, and so is ours. The postpartum care service we signed up for wasn't just for the baby, it made a world of difference for Ada too. They offer deep, full-body massages, especially to help with breast pain from pumping. When it was time for Gia's bath, they always used 2 tubs, one with soap and another for rinsing, keeping everything as gentle and clean as possible. While Gia slept, I stayed home, and Ada went for her massage. It was one of the few moments she could truly relax. Living in a neighborhood full of families with young kids, we felt incredibly lucky to have that kind of support around us. When the baby sleeps, the mother should sleep too. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most important things for recovery. Ada and Gia are both sleeping here, and this is exactly how it should be. Resting together, even if just for a little while. In Vietnam, postpartum caregivers bring betel leaves. Betel leaves is part of traditional newborn care. Every day, our caregiver arrived with fresh leaves, heated them on the stove, and gently placed them on Gia's head and belly. She repeated this process, moving carefully and with experience. At first, we didn't understand the purpose. Was this just a cultural practice, or did it actually help? According to traditional Vietnamese beliefs, warmth helps with digestion, circulation, and balancing the baby's body temperature. Newborns come from a warm womb, and keeping them warm is believed to help them adjust to life outside. I didn't look for scientific proof if it provided direct health benefits, but Gia didn't seem to mind. In fact, she looked completely calm every time. Maybe it's the warmth, or maybe it's the gentle, familiar hands of someone who has done this for years. Looking back, what stood out most wasn't whether this method worked, but the care behind it. Parenting is a mix of science and tradition, and sometimes, even if there's no research backing it up, what really matters is the love and experience being passed down through generations. In addition to warmth, newborns rely heavily on physical touch for comfort and regulation.
What is that?
Skin-to-skin contact has been widely studied and is known to help stabilize a baby's heart rate, temperature, and stress levels. While traditional practices like warming leaves don't have extensive scientific studies, the core idea aligns with what we do know. Warmth and gentle touch can promote relaxation in newborns. While Gia sleeps, I sometimes notice tiny movements. Her lips twitch, her eyelids flutter, and her face makes small expressions. It almost looks like she's reacting to something, maybe even dreaming. These movements happen during REM sleep, the most active sleep stage. Newborns spend about 50% of their sleep in REM, which is why these twitches are common. Unlike adults, babies aren't dreaming in the way we do. These movements are more likely the nervous system practicing reflexes. REM sleep is critical for brain development. During this stage, the brain processes new experiences, strengthens neural connections, and helps build motor skills. That's why newborns need so much sleep, about 16 to 18 hours a day. Even in sleep, Gia is learning, growing, and preparing for the next stages of development. Gia is now 20 days old, hair washing and feeding behavior. Newborns don't need frequent baths, but keeping their scalp clean is essential. Their skin is sensitive and oil can build up, leading to cradle calf. Since babies lose heat quickly, the caregiver ensures the water is warm and works gently to avoid stress. She wets Gia's hair, massages her scalp, and rinses without letting water get into her eyes or ears. This isn't just about hygiene. It also stimulates circulation. Later, Gia gets fussy, but as soon as she tastes a drop of milk, she calms down and starts drinking. This reaction is due to the sucking reflex, an automatic response that helps babies latch onto a nipple or bottle for feeding. Right now, she's not drinking because she consciously knows she's hungry. Her body simply reacts to milk on her tongue. These instincts ensure she gets enough nutrition during this critical growth period. With her arms free, Gia constantly moves them around. At this stage, her movements are uncoordinated and reflexive, controlled by her developing nervous system. Over time, these jerky motions will become smoother as her brain refines motor control. Every kick and wave of her arms is practice for the more precise movements she'll develop in the coming months. Gia is now 21 days old. She's sleeping without a swaddle, which means her startle reflex isn't waking her up. At this stage, some babies still need swaddling for comfort, but others, like Gia, are already adjusting to sleeping freely. She wakes up to eat, and after feeding, she falls asleep again with a pacifier in her mouth. Pacifiers can help soothe babies by satisfying their natural sucking reflex. However, it's best to introduce them after breastfeeding is well established to avoid nipple confusion. Tummy time is crucial for Gia's physical development. By placing her on her stomach while she's awake, we're helping her strengthen her neck, shoulders, and arms. These muscles will be essential when she starts lifting her head, rolling over, and eventually crawling. At first, tummy time can be frustrating for newborns. Some babies cry because they're not used to the position or because their muscles are still weak. But even short sessions, a few times a day, make a big difference. We watch for signs that she's comfortable and engaged, encouraging her with gentle stimulation like talking or placing toys within her vision. Newborns cry for many reasons: hunger, discomfort, or the need for soothing. At 21 days old, Gia is still learning to express her needs. When she cries loudly, it often means she's hungry. The moment she feels the bottle nipple in her mouth, she stops crying and starts sucking. This reaction is due to the sucking reflex, an instinct that ensures newborns can feed. When something touches the roof of the mouth, the reflex automatically kicks in. This is why sucking, even on a pacifier, can provide comfort, not just nutrition. Once again, I rested Gia's bottle on a pillow while she drank. At the time, I didn't realize this was unsafe. propping a bottle can be dangerous because milk continues to flow even if the baby isn't actively sucking. Gia is spending more time on her stomach, and we can see her body slowly adapting. Her head is still wobbly, but each time she lifts it, she's strengthening her neck and upper body muscles. These tiny efforts are the foundation for future milestones, like rolling over and sitting up. Tummy time doesn't just help with muscle development. It also plays a key role in preventing positional plagiocephaly, or flathead syndrome. Since newborns spend most of their time lying on their backs, their soft skulls can develop flat spots. Regular tummy time helps by reducing constant pressure on one part of the head and encouraging a natural, rounded shape. At this stage, short but frequent tummy time sessions are best. Even a few minutes at a time, several times a day, will help Gia build the strength she needs for her next stages of development.
Okay, break. Break. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, round 2, go again.
Tummy time isn't just about movement, it's also about adjustment. Even when she's still, her body's learning to distribute weight differently than when she's lying on her back.
But she has like black spots on her back also.
Oh, it's okay.
Like dark spots.
It's gonna go away.
At this stage, babies are still developing the endurance to hold their heads up for long periods. It's common for them to tire quickly and rest their heads on the surface instead of lifting them. That doesn't mean tummy time isn't working. Just being in this position helps strengthen her neck, back, and shoulder muscles while improving her posture.
Oh, round 3. Go again. Push. Yes.
Resting during tummy time is also an important part of the learning process. Even if she isn't lifting her head much yet, she's still adjusting to the feeling of being on her stomach. Every session helps her get used to supporting her body in a different way. To make tummy time a positive experience, gentle encouragement can help. Talking to the baby, making eye contact, or placing a toy nearby can keep them engaged. If they get fussy, short breaks are okay. Tummy time should be consistent but not forced. The key is repetition. The more time spent in this position, the more comfortable and active they become.